Bows and bow ties. Take a look at this ring. You see this? It spins. It's a gold ring that I purchased when I was living in Turkey. It's got my name on one side, and I think it's also got some hieroglyphics on the other side. It's 14 karat gold, and I really consider this to be one of the original fidget spinners. But anyway, it made me think, you know what? I should do a video on the reasons why we should be visiting Turkey, okay? Or Turkey, as they pronounce in country, which I can't do it
Okay,
justice. The main reason why you should consider going to Turkey is it's really inexpensive once you get there. So yeah, you're gonna have to foot the bill, whether it's by plane, train, or automobile, but you're gonna have to foot the bill to get there. If you're living in Europe or someplace, getting to Turkey is really inexpensive. But let's get on into the meat of this. I want to talk about the cultural diversity for a second. It could just be me because I was a brown girl in Turkey, but most of my experiences, let me just say this, I recognize that everyone's going to have a different collection of experiences. But for me, as a brown gal in Turkey, I never felt like I was Black. Now, what do I mean by that? I feel more Black in the United States than I did over in Turkey, actually. If anything, I felt more like an American, not necessarily like I was Black. The people there were super warm and hospitable, and they were welcoming to, at least for me. I can only speak for my collection of experiences, okay? But as a Black woman, as a brown gal over there in Turkey, I never felt like a Black person. I just didn't. So and I will say they are culturally diverse over there. So maybe they are not as racially mixed up, but they are definitely culturally diverse over there. One of the things I wanted to point out was, for example, they have all kinds of Greek and Roman influences over there. Because remember, they had all of those civilizations back in the day. So if you look at where they sit on the map, you have Greece to the south, and then of course you have the Roman contingent coming from out of Europe. Sorry, I can't even get it out. So it makes sense why they would have those influences. They were part of that whole Ottoman Empire. So, with the Ottoman Empire, like they controlled like the Middle East for the longest time. I mean, they literally ruled over the Middle East and Europe for like just hundreds and hundreds of years. Like, if you do your homework, the Ottoman Empire was like off the chain. But they're also influenced by Islam. So obviously, they have this whole Islamic culture. They have their call to prayer and all that good stuff. And then they have some European influences. If you like were to travel to Istanbul and you look at some of the architecture and stuff like that. But the main thing I wanted to point out was the fact that even though I said that they have this Islamic culture, they are as Muslim as we are Christian. And so what do I mean by that? They're a secular state, supposedly. Okay. So take that with a grain of salt, but they definitely are a diverse group of people culturally. If you're wondering why I was over there, I spent a lot of time in Turkey because I was an officer in the military at the time. During my time there, I traveled all over, which brings me to my next point. We're going to talk about the really cool places to visit. If you're looking at it from a religious standpoint or whatever it is, Black people, like there's so much that you can learn in this area. There's so much spirituality. Like, just like I'm going to talk about the first place. Let's just talk about Ephesus. So, if you look at where it is, it's on the western coast of Turkey. Okay. It's like an ancient city. I mean, I don't know. It was just like it's just a powerful place. It's well preserved, so you can go there. They have like this whole amphitheater. They have a temple. It's they say it's like the house of the Virgin Mary. I don't remember a whole lot about Ephesus, but I just remember that it was just like this really spiritual place. I'm just going to leave it there. Now, the next place, which is Istanbul, let me say this. If you were to go to Turkey, now look, I did not go there. I wish I had gone there. It's a very popular tourist attraction. So if you go to Istanbul, there is this cruise along the Bosphorus. Why do I keep saying phosphorus? Every time I see this word, it's not phosphorus, it's the Bosphorus Strait. It's like a popular tourist attraction, but if you go there, it's what divides Europe and Asia. So it's just a really interesting place. I wish I had gone to Istanbul. I don't know why I never made it there. I was too busy doing other things. And there's so many places to visit here. You have Cappadocia, which is located in the central Anatolia area. So it's known for their unique geological features. So this is the place where, if I remember correctly, and I have to look at my notes here, it had like the cities that were like, they had these under cities and these other cities. It was like cut from the rock. It was like cities that were cut from the rock. I'm like, yo, it has been quite some time. So I had to do a little bit of looking up on the internet on some of these things because I have not been there since, I think it was like 1999. I mean, I wish that I could have appreciated more while I was there, but then anyway, I'm going to move on. You got the Aegean Sea. Now, look, this is my favorite part. So, if you're exploring the coast of the Aegean Sea, that is like located in Western Turkey. So, they have all these like popular beach resorts, like the Kusa Daisy one, Bodrum. That's where I went. Yeah, Marmaris. Bodrum was on the Aegean coast, right? It's the southwestern portion of Turkey. Very popular location for tourists. Okay, it's this beautiful beach site. It's so gorgeous. It was like paradise. I mean, they have everything there. They've got nightlife, and if you want to go visit some historical sites, that's fine. I wasn't about that life at that time. I was too much of a ding dong. But it was like paradise. It was paradise. Like, I remember when I was there, someone had coined or told me that they had been coined the hidden gem of Europe. I'm at a loss for words. It was really one of the most beautiful places I had been. Anyway, there's so many things to do and see there. I mean, I'm just listing off a few. Okay. If at any point during this video that you find anything remotely interesting, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe. But anyway, we're gonna move on to the next thing. There's cool things to do. Let me tell you, one of the main things to do when you're there, eat. Just eat. It was so inexpensive. I remember when I was there, we would go out to dinner. Now, this was back, 99 time frame, 2000. We went out to dinner and there was so much food. And I think I paid less than $3. Now, it's just had so much food. Like, don't ask me to remember what anything is, but just in general, eating out on the economy, like the kebabs, like the baklava, what everybody would like die for over there. It was like, I think it was like orgasmic for people or something.
The food is so good. The rice is so good, so well seasoned. Like, I would just like a bowl of rice sometimes, but like the way they slice the meat, like, let me tell you, the way it's done here and the way it's done over there completely different, especially when you're near the Mediterranean. Like, the food was so much fresher. The food was so good. Oh my gosh. Make sure you just eat.
Even the salad was good, like the yogurt salad and everything. It was just good. Just eat. Another thing you should do, you should go visit a mosque. I visited a mosque in Adana. It's about, I want to say it was an hour away from where I was. I believe that was the case. And anyway, so when I visited the mosque, it was 5 million degrees outside. I think I had on shorts because where I was at the time, it was more secular. Okay. So people wore shorts and tank tops and everything like that. But when I visited the mosque, I had to put something on. If I remember correctly, when you showed up to the mosque and people were going in to pray and that type of thing, and they had like extra, I hate saying stuff, but like head wraps and whatever, because you had to cover up. I'm showing a lot of skin. And so you had to get there, and I had to cover up and take off the shoes. And there was a lady outside, and she had to help me get dressed because I didn't know how to. It was a situation going on. Like, I didn't know how to put it on. Yo. But anyway, so I went inside this mosque, and you had to be really quiet and take off your shoes and to be like super respectful. And people were praying, and I was just like enamored with the beauty. Like when you would look up and look around, it was just so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Yeah, it was beautiful. But anyway, let me move on. So another thing you can do while you're over there, these are reasons why you need to get to places like Turkey, right? They have these Turkish baths. Now, I wish I had participated in the Turkish bath. I was too much of a prude. And there's other things like they had hot air balloons and other things like that, but there were so many things to do. They go out to nightclubs and they go to the beach and put on bathing suits like we do in the whole 9 yards, right? Like they do all of that. And then of course you still have a sect of people who are very, very religious, but that's like anywhere where you would go, right? As a matter of fact, when I was looking at the environment, when I landed and it was like 5 million degrees, and I remember seeing like palm trees. I'm like, wait, what? this is Turkey. Now, granted, the landscape of Turkey, they've got mountains, they've got beaches, they've got palm trees, they've got all kinds of stuff. But I was like, there's palm trees here? I was expecting people to be praying and the whole 9 yards. Ciao. But anyway, let me move on to this last point. Shop. Okay, so look, let me just say this. Let me tell you about the shopping. It's like paradise over there. Again, like it's like everywhere you go, everywhere. It's just gold everywhere. I didn't even know what I was doing when I look back and I have a cartouche. I bought a cartouche. It's like a nameplate. Let me see if you can see. It's like a little nameplate that will hang down. Instead of going this way, it hangs this way and it has your name in like Egyptian hieroglyphics or something, or you can get it in like Arabic or whatever. And then on the other side, it has your name in English. I bought one of those, and then I got one of these. Whoops. I got this spinner ring. This was one of the popular things at the time. They had 18 karat, they had 10 karat, they had it was just like a paradise. Like the gold there, that orangey, yellowy looking gold, that's like 18 karat. It was so beautiful. Oh my goodness. When I look back, I wish I had bought more. But yeah, they had jewels and gold and more gold. You need to go there and shop. They had rugs. I bought a rug. I wish I had bought more. And then just the crafts. Let me tell you something. They had so much. Like I said, they had like all kinds of ways that they would make gold jewelry, right? But I remember like I would get like these puzzle boxes and you could use them. They were made out of wood. You could smell the wood. They would be like jewelry boxes. They'd be all kinds of things. They'd make toys out of everything. Their craftsmanship was like, I just had never seen anything like the stuff that I was seeing over there. The main thing is, I just wanted everybody to know, look, you need to get over to a place like Turkey. You don't feel like a black person. You know what I mean? Like you don't feel like, oh, I'm black in Turkey. You're more like an American in Turkey. I think it's very welcoming. All right, so look, I'm gonna get on out of here. Let me know what your thoughts are.